In this edition of the Parliament Report, Select Committee to examine tax measures, new Speaker installed in Gordon House, and musical chairs in the House. A Select Committee of the House of Representatives has been named to examine tax measures. Chaired by Finance Minister Audley Shaw, the committee has been given the job to deliberate on a green paper on taxation that has been tabled in Parliament. At the July 12 sitting of the House, Prime Minister Bruce Golding urged the committee to take its work seriously and not allow interest groups to determine its final report. He said, "I want to urge the committee to consider what is in the broad national interest and not necessarily what may be favored by particular interest groups, no matter how powerful they may be." In May, the Finance Minister tabled a green paper in the House which proposes, among other things, a reduction in the rate of the General Consumption Tax, GCT. The green paper also proposes that the 5% advance GCT now charged on the importation of goods be abolished and replaced with an advance 5% on the cost, insurance, freight fee paid by commercial importers except for bauxite and petroleum. In addition, the Green Paper proposes that the personal income tax threshold, which now stands at $441,168 per annum, be increased starting January 12 through to 2014. For the second time in the history of Jamaica's bicameral legislature, a woman has been installed as Speaker of the House of Representatives. Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, a first-term Jamaica Labour Party Member of Parliament for Trelawney South, was elevated to the Speaker's chair on July 12. The People's National Party's Violet Nielsen, who created history in 1997 when she was selected House Speaker, held that position until 2002 under the then PJ Patterson administration. Dalrymple Philibert thanked Prime Minister Bruce Golding for his support and her constituents for electing her to represent them in Parliament. She also thanked her predecessor, Delroy Chuck, for mentoring her for 3 years. She acted as his deputy. Leader of Government Business of the House, Andrew Holness, and his opposition counterpart, Michael Peart, congratulated the new Speaker on her promotion. St. Mary's South Eastern MP Tan Peralto was selected as the Deputy House Speaker. Prior to the selections, opposition members called for St. Catherine's Southwest MP Everald Warmington to sit in the Speaker's chair. However, the controversial MP said he did not want the Speaker's position as he did not intend to be muzzled in the House. And the newly installed Speaker has urged her parliamentary colleagues to observe the standing orders of Parliament even in the face of rigorous debate. Following her rise to the position in the House, Dalrymple Philibert pledged to exercise her duties with equity. She said, "I recognize that as parliamentarians, every member of this House has a right to robust debate, but I say very clearly at this point, as I seek to carry out my role, that I expect that each member will do so with absolute respect for the standing orders and with the dignity and decorum that is required of each of us as members of this House." Meanwhile, St. Catherine's South Central MP Sharon Hay Webster changed her customary seat on the opposition benches and relocated to a new seat at the far end of the opposition side. Hay Webster, a third-term MP, had resigned from the PNP following a fallout with the party's hierarchy. This came in the wake of WikiLeaks revelations that she had withdrawn her renunciation letter at the U.S. Embassy without informing the public that she had backed off an earlier pledge to give up her American citizenship. And the flamboyant Jamaica Labour Party politician Carl Semuda, who refused to accept a transfer in the Bruce Golding-led cabinet from the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce to the Ministry of Mining and Energy on July 12, took a new seat in Gordon House with the backbenchers. Semuda, who was formerly seated among the senior cabinet ministers on the front benches on the government side in Parliament, now joins former Minister of Mining and Energy James Robertson on the backbenches. Robertson had resigned as a cabinet minister in the wake of revelations that the United States Embassy had revoked his visa. Minutes before the official start of the sitting of the House on July 12, a small committee comprising government members of Parliament and House Leader Andrew Holness appeared to be deliberating on the seating arrangement on the backbenches. At the end of the brief discussion, it was decided that Semuda would be seated beside controversial St. Catherine Southwest MP Everald Warmington. Other persons seated on the backbenches are Taryn Peralta, Deputy Speaker, Joseph Hibbert, Derek Smith, Ernest Smith, and Franklin Witter. This has been another edition of the Parliament Report. Until the next bulletin, I'm Edmund Campbell saying, walk good.